And it looked like ESPN just told the shocking truth as to why Sandy Brondello was let go by the New York Liberty. Guys, for this one here.
Everyone thinks they know why Sandy Brondello got axed from the Liberty. But trust me, the real story is way messier. ESPN just dropped a bomb that tears the lid off a toxic front office, a championship-level betrayal, and a league-wide power grab that'll leave your jaw on the floor. This isn't your average coaching drama. This is a plot twist that could rewrite the future of the entire WNBA.
The New York Liberty have let go Sandy Brondello. Well, in their terms, they will not renew her contract. In our eyes, they parted ways. She was fired, essentially. But not as bad as being fired, I guess. But that's just how we talk out here. Nonetheless, I'm shocked. She's been a coach there for 4 seasons. You look at the past 3 seasons, she made it to the finals in her 2nd season. She won the finals in her 3rd season, and they lost in round 1 this year. Outside looking in, you look at this franchise and you see that's a successful franchise. New York is a powerhouse in the W right now. So what is the issue? What is the front office looking at? What are the ownership?
And just blew the roof off the WNBA with this one. Sandy Brondello, the Liberty's all-time winningest coach, fresh off delivering a championship, was booted without warning. Fans blinked twice in disbelief. How do you dump the woman who brought you glory? But nope, this isn't a bad dream. It's the cold, cutthroat truth of a front office drunk on ego, pretending to be bigger than the league itself. So let's dig in, because what ESPN exposed isn't just basketball drama, it's raw politics, insane pressure, and a franchise sabotaging its own success.
Title, what exactly led to the parting of ways between the Liberty and Sandy Brondello here?
Well, Malika, I know you guys talk about this a lot in the NBA and in other sports, but it was really championship or bust for New York and for Sandy Brondello. And in fact, if they hadn't won the championship last year, we might have been having this conversation a year ago, which is maybe a little startling to fans outside, given how, excuse me for those noises, for how impactful she'd been for that franchise. But that is how bullish this organization is in New York, and how their ownership and management really are looking to just continue upon that success.
Where the story goes completely off the rails. This firing wasn't some emotional meltdown after a bad playoff loss. Oh no, ESPN says this plan was simmering long before. Sandy Brondello was basically 1 trophy away from unemployment last year. Championship or bust, literally. Make it make sense. You bring in a coach who rebuilds your broken team, racks up more wins than anyone in Liberty history, delivers a championship, and your thank you is a pink slip? That's like devouring a 5-star meal and complaining the plate wasn't hot enough. It's pure madness, and ESPN all but stamped it confirmed.
So I think for New York moving forward, I would expect them to really, again, be bullish in who they go after. We know that they are a WNBA franchise that invests a lot in a lot of resources, a lot of financial, capital into these decisions. So I think it wouldn't be shocking, though, if they decide to go after maybe someone in the NBA, someone that we might be a little bit more of a non-traditional hire. I do think Sandy Brondello has a great shot of getting hired again. We know what she has done in this league. We know that there's openings in Seattle, for example, in addition to the 2.
Liberty front office, often called bullish, is really just Wall Street code for owners who treat basketball like a stock exchange. If the numbers aren't flawless, dump the asset and buy another. They don't believe in patience or process. They crave nonstop dominance, and if you can't deliver perfection on command, they'll swap you out without blinking. Here's the mind-blowing part. Sandy Brondello wasn't just winning, she was performing miracles. She fought through playoff injuries, half-healthy players, and a paper-thin roster, and still coached her team to the finals and won it all.
With ESPN to give us an update as to why Sandy Brondello will let go. And what's crazy about all of this in this interview that I'm about to show you guys is that Sandy Brondello was supposed to be fired last year, but she actually won the WNBA championship.
Here's where things go completely off the deep end. Management somehow spun success into a problem. ESPN insider Alexa Philippou revealed the decision was made before the playoffs. It was literally title or else. If New York didn't go back-to-back, Sandy Brondello was toast. Let that sink in. She handed them their first ever championship, only to be graded on whether she could instantly repeat history. The bar was set so absurdly high, failure was the only possible ending. While other franchises would kill for a coach with her resume, New York just shrugged like it was no big deal.
Liberty just fired their head coach. People are confused as to why, because they won the championship last year, they made the playoffs this year. In sports, there's always a scapegoat when things aren't going the way that they wanted it to go. Clearly, in New York, the standard has been raised. As Coach Tibbs learned with the New York Knicks, making the playoffs does not guarantee that you are safe anymore. They have raised the standard. They're sending a message to the fans, to the team, saying, we don't want to just go to the playoffs. We need to go to the finals and we need to win. So if it's not the players on the court that are changing, it's got to be the coaching staff. So unfortunately, the
timing was absolutely savage. ESPN confirmed this wasn't some emotional farewell tour. The Liberty cut ties fast, tossed out a bland, "Thanks for your service" statement, and instantly started name-dropping replacements. No celebration, no tribute, not even a token parade, just a cold corporate goodbye. But this mess runs deeper than one firing. It exposes the WNBA's bizarre obsession with mimicking NBA drama without the NBA's foundation. The Liberty acted like the Lakers axing a coach for not three-peating. Newsflash, you're not the Lakers. You're a league still clawing for market share. What you need is stability, not chaos.
You never want to see a player get injured, and a player like Caitlin coming back has had a few injuries this year. She's a great player. It would have been good for our crowd to see her, but hopefully they get to see her after post All-Star. We get to play them again. As for the All-Star, I'm excited to get to know her a little bit. I think that's the part of the All-Star. It's going to coach players that you haven't coached before and get them to know them a little bit and enjoy the whole celebration.
Speaking of chaos, here's where things explode. Caitlin Clark has already flipped the WNBA's entire power balance. She's the league's face, and every move she makes gets magnified 1,000 times. So when Sandy Brondello dared to praise her or even acknowledge her impact, the old guard started squirming. Suddenly, it wasn't about wins anymore. It was about who gets the credit. ESPN danced around it, but let's be real. Brondello's honesty about Caitlin's influence rubbed some people the wrong way. The Liberty want Breanna Stewart and Sabrina Ionescu to be the league's poster duo, not share the spotlight. Having a coach publicly recognize Caitlin's cultural takeover didn't fit the "we're the center of the universe" image New York keeps pushing. And here's the kicker. Breanna Stewart only signed for 1 year. Picture this. The Liberty dumped their championship coach just to prove some bizarre point. And in doing so, they alienate the very star who gave them credibility. ESPN even hinted Breanna Stewart might jump ship. And if that happens, New York goes from powerhouse to rebuild overnight. That's the kind of galaxy brain gamble they're making. Meanwhile, players across the league are calling it out. Becky Hammon didn't even bother to sugarcoat it. When one of the most respected coaches in basketball basically calls your move trash without saying trash, maybe rethink your strategy. But the Liberty? Nope. They're too busy pretending they're playing 4D chess while actually just flipping the board. And the million-dollar question: who replaces Sandy Brondello? ESPN says they might dip outside the WNBA, maybe grab an NBA assistant. Because nothing screams stability like handing a stacked roster to someone who's never coached a WNBA locker room. It's reckless. The irony? Sandy's gonna land on her feet. Seattle has an opening, expansion teams are hunting, she's too good to sit unemployed. So the Liberty aren't just losing a coach. They're gift-wrapping a championship leader for a rival. Imagine Sandy returning to crush New York from the other side. Now that would be the revenge tour ESPN dreams of. Oh, and for perspective, let's rewind to the Liberty's record under her. ESPN laid it all out. In 2022, they went 16-20, a rebuild year. Then came the receipts, and they're brutal. In 2023, the Liberty exploded to a 32-8 record and made the finals. In 2024, they did it again, 32-8, and won the championship. By 2025, they finished 27-17 and bowed out early thanks to injuries. And somehow that resume gets you fired? Come on, coaches with half that success get statues, not pink slips. No wonder fans are furious. This firing isn't basketball logic, it's branding gone wild. The Liberty care more about looking glamorous than actually winning. They want to be the WNBA's flashy poster team, but instead of stability, they've unleashed pure chaos. And chaos never wins championships. Think about the message this sends. Players are told hard work gets rewarded, yet they just watch the coach who made history get tossed out like yesterday's tweet. That's demoralizing. And if you think pros don't notice, you're kidding yourself. They see the games being played upstairs. Even fans have had enough. ESPN showed social media melting down with words like betrayal, sabotage, and flat-out stupidity. Some even vowed to boycott until ownership changes. The Liberty thought they were making a bold power move. Instead, they just set fire to their own fan base. This isn't just about Sandy Brondello. It's about how the WNBA keeps fumbling success. Success